Hello, folks. Welcome to another edition of Last Week in Nigeria, where we connect the dots on recent events in Nigeria. I'm Mara Alfred, and with me, I have my co-host in Nigeria, Emmanuel. Hi, Emmanuel. It's good to see you.
Oh, Mara, good to see you. How are you doing?
We are over here in America excited for our team. We're cheering our country to victory. How do you guys over there feel about Nigeria making it to the finals?
It's so nice, and that's interesting because we all are excited considering the fact that we're through to the finals. I'm also getting ready to go watch the finals today, and I'm sure we're bringing home that trophy because we deserve it.
Thanks for the scoop, Emmanuel. I know that the major headlines has been insecurities and kidnappings in Nigeria. But Emmanuel, what other headlines do we have?
Oh, fantastic. That's a good one. Consider the fact that the Super Eagles are in AFCON and they're making us proud. Look at our Nigerians also, talking about the GRAMMY Award. We had 8 nominations for crying out loud. Unfortunately, we didn't get it, but fine. Maybe we should just settle for the fact that the Super Eagles are making us proud. Our own superstars in the entertainment industry are also making us proud. They got nominations. Of course, we've been getting these nominations for a while now. If it doesn't go the way it should or the way as expected, Nigerians shouldn't be that disappointed. Let's just hope that things will come up for the better in future.
Wow. Thanks, Emmanuel. There's a lot of things to take in. If only we had taken the Grammys as well.
So good to hear from you. I appreciate that position of yours. So talking about the Super Eagles, AFCON 2023, and of course, the almighty Grammy, I want to inform you that our own Grammy that has been adopted, put together by NAIJA, he said on his post that he's bringing back the headies back to Nigeria. 2022, 2023 were held in the US. Now he said, let's come back home. So we look forward to that. Kudos to you, NAIJA, for that wonderful decision. Maso, look at the outcome of the Grammy. For 8 nominations, we didn't get any. All right, away from that, my name is Emmanuel Oriowo. Welcome. It's Last Week in Nigeria, your regular episode that you get to hear of stories of events as reported by the national dailies that were reported last week in Nigeria. So we go straight to the stories as they were reported. Don't forget that you can follow us on all our socials using Last Week in Nigeria. And don't forget to log on to our website www.lastweekinnigeria.com. Last Week in Nigeria, stories were reported by several national dailies that got Nigerians talking. The Vanguard newspaper brought us this one. Uncertainty rules currency market as external reserve rises volume of dollars traded down to 3% to 2.14 billion naira. Expert warn further depreciation adverse impact on our economy. The Nigerian Tribune, Daily Times, and the Vanguard also has this one. Economic challenges, Presidency Atiku in war of words. Presidency Atiku fight over Tinubu's economic policies. Tinubu's response, uniformed, arbitrary, chaotic. Atiku, doing a poor job, offers no alternative to president's policy, and that's credited to the presidency. Nigeria Tribune, high cost of living sparks protests. Residents block roads in Minna. Hard times over soon, credited to Senator Oluremi Tinubu, that is the wife of the president, the first lady. Poultry farmers lament loss of 33 trillion naira. Investment to prevailing harsh economy. Foodstuff, cattle dealers decry multiple taxes on southeast, south-south roads. The Vanguard, Daily Sun, The Guardian has this one. High cost of living, Niger residents protest hunger, shut down major roads, protest rocks NAIJA. That's the way some other newspapers put it, over hardship and security. Poor citizens protest high cost of living, hardship in Mina. Osun women, youth block major highways, engage police in fierce battle. LP advises president to seek the way out. The New Telegraph has this one, and leadership newspaper, not forgetting the Daily Times. Kano government to residents. I will personally report devastating hunger starvation to Tinubu. Food cheapest in Nigeria despite complaints is a statement credited to governors. Economic hardship triggers protests in NAIJA, Mina, as residents block the roads to protest about the hardship being faced by Nigerians. The Punch newspaper brought out this particular headline last week in Nigeria. Nigerians seek relief as states gets 3.3 trillion naira allocations. Protesters lament rising inflation. Governors rally federal government to avert food crisis. States, local government receive 3.3 trillion naira between July and December. Quality of life still degenerating. The Vanguard, Daily Trusts, and Nature News has this one. Protest over high prices, no food shortage in Nigeria, federal government replies. House of Rep wants action to end hunger. State governors rally to avert impending food crisis in Nigeria. President directs committee to take immediate action to arrest situation as it asks FG to import grains, drugs, others for a lasting solution. The Daily Independent, Nigerian Tribune, and Daily Sun has this one. Nigerians spent $40 billion on foreign exchange, education, medical treatment in 10 years. Is a statement credited to the Central Bank of Nigeria governor, talking about a Cardoso. FX crisis, that is the foreign exchange crisis. The CBN blames foreign students' medical tourism based on the spending of $58.7 billion on travel. That's the way some of the national dailies reported that development last week. The Vanguard newspaper, education with tears. Hardship creating more indigent students. Our students attend classes hungry. Students dropping out will exacerbate insecurity. Is a statement credited to ASU, that is the Academic Staff Union of Universities. Nigerian News Direct has this one. Failure to domesticate production responsible for hike in drug costs. Federal government is speaking now to roll out executive orders to mitigate the prices of drugs. You'll recall that we talked about this on our last episode, telling you that this could be the worst time in Nigeria to fall ill. That wasn't our voice, that wasn't our word, it was credited to the federal government.
Our country is really going through a lot, where the high cost of living, low unemployment rate, high dollar rate, hunger, and high medical expenses. When would this turmoil end? Anyway, what else do we have on the headlines?
National economy. It is not over yet, as economists warn Nigerians as food inflation maintains 11th increase consecutively. Last week in Nigeria, the Nation newspaper reported that 0 megawatts of electricity supply to discos, cripples homes, businesses across the nation. Ministry firms disagree on cause of failure. FX crisis reignites question over NNPC's dollar remittance, as reported by the Business Day newspaper. The Guardian has this one. Building materials, labor spike construction cost by 20%. The Leadership newspaper has this one. 15.9 million students spend 159 billion naira on mobile data monthly. That was in the Leadership newspaper. The Nation newspaper has this one. Federal government, our economic policies yielding fruits, says Edu. We are improving the living standards, more palliatives for vulnerable Nigerians. The Vanguard newspaper has this one. Kidnappers want 15 million naira to free my wife. Is a statement credited to the victim's husband. You recall that they were kidnapped on the GIGM and ABC transport service, and the kidnappers are asking the husband to bring 15 million naira ransom.
Emmanuel, I know we went over the entertainment highlights with the Grammys award, but while going over the news, I saw we lost a legend. Can you give us more details on that?
On the entertainment scene, it was on a sad note when the news broke out. Cultural icon Jimmy Sholanke passes at 82. The Sporting Sun has this one. Mwabali, the secret behind my form. And to Ehenacho, he says, I was under pressure playing decisive penalty. You recall that at that match, we saw Victor Osimhen whispering into his ears. One could just figure out what he was trying to tell him, that, hey, look at the whole nation are waiting for you. All right, that's about the size of the whole thing. But just before we go, the Super Eagles, we wish you the best of luck as we are heading to the finals in the matter of hours. And we hope to see Nigeria bringing back home the trophy, just like I said at the beginning of the show. The Guardian has this one. How Super Eagles defied odds, doubt to qualify for 10 billion naira CAF prize. Now we are at the finals. We're bringing home the trophy. So that's about the size of it. Thank you very much for being there. Let's do this again some other time. Next week I'll be here. Do plan to join me. Thank you for being there. My name is Emmanuel Oriowo. Bye for now. Over to you, Mara. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel. I would see you next week. Be safe out there.
Thank you. Catch you next week.
Folks, we've come to the end of today's edition of Last Week in Nigeria. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Last Week in Nigeria. Follow us on all social platforms at Last Week in Nigeria, and check us out on our website at www.lastweekinnigeria.com, where we bring you updates every Sunday. I'm still your host, Mara Alfred. Until next week.